Who?
Hunter Thompson. Hey, everybody. Welcome. If you're still waiting, thank you for waiting. Sorry, I was just I couldn't really start an after show without other people because then it would have just been an interview all over again. So you know, I mean,
Yeah, you can't
but
hang
that really
out if it's the same two people.
right. So I want to welcome Russ.
What's going on,
Russ.
guys?
How you been,
Nothing
buddy?
much.
Haven't talked to you in a while.
Oh, been all right. Just trying to get through becoming a non-smoker.
How's that
Oh
going for
yeah,
you?
I remember hearing that on Twitter.
Yeah, it's going.
That's good.
I am currently on day 7, I believe.
Ooh, awesome. That's
Congratulations, man.
that's awesome. One dude, kicking a heroin habit was easier than stopping smoking, dude. For real. I still haven't stopped smoking. I stopped shooting heroin though. So what to tell you?
Yes. Well, I'm not gonna say it wasn't hard at all because it
Oh no, it
damn
is a
sure was.
motherfucker.
It really was. I definitely had issues with trying to whenever the agitation would set in. Um, I use smoking as a crutch for that, and now whenever it sets in, I sit there and I tend to get a little bit more fidgety, and I'm like, okay, but I just get through it and just
Right.
go on with my life.
That's all you really can do. Um, I haven't had the greatest week. I didn't want to mention this on the interview stream, but I would I would like you all to know that I got dumped for being an atheist. Yes, sir.
Are
I got
you
dumped for being.
serious?
Just
Yep, I
outright.
sure am. Sure am. Tuesday morning, I got a text that said, "Hey, we need to talk." I'm like, "Oh, you know." And she called me when she woke up, and she was like, "Hey, I love you, but um, we have. I mean, she has been kind of standoffish the last like few months or so, and she's like, we have too many differing opinions on how Nick should be raised, which is her son, my stepson. Um, and with your atheism, I want someone that'll go to church with. I mean, she's not going to run out and find another man. She's not that kind of girl. But she's like, I want someone that'll, you know, go to church as a family and blah blah blah. How are we supposed to explain to Nick why you don't go to church? And I'm just like, wow, yeah, wow. I mean, like, I don't know. I guess that's better than fucking getting cheated on, but I mean, it's still like I've never been broke up with. I mean, religion has never been an equation in any relationship I've ever been in. Has it for you guys ever?
No.
Yeah.
I
Honestly.
mean, hell, you already know that my fiance is a non-denominational Christian.
Um,
We
what
were
was it?
together 4 years, Shane. Oh, 4 years, yeah.
That's such a
So
long time.
yeah, it is.
I'm
Yeah.
really sorry to hear what happened to you, dude.
Oh,
Um,
that's
but
it's okay. I'm a pragmatist, dude. I kind of feel like I almost like a little relief actually because I always worried like I mean since she was hyper religious, we dated but didn't live together. So I always had that worry like what's going to happen if we do get married and we do move in with each other, like am I going to be able to deal with her religion on that intimate of a basis? And so I mean, in all actuality, we are both very, very different people. She's very right about that. I mean, like, I might, I mean, she it was the kindest breakup I've ever had. I'll give you that much. It was by far the kindest breakup I've ever been through in my entire life. There was no name calling, no screaming, no yelling. It was very amicable, but it still is a kick in the nuts, nonetheless. I mean, that doesn't soften the blow of getting dumped, but I mean, in hindsight, now that I got a few days to think about it, um, being the pragmatist I am, it hurts, but it
I'm sorry, I
hurts.
was
But I
laughing at
mean,
something reset in the chat.
oh no, it hurts. But I mean, I'm probably better off. I mean, it wouldn't have worked out in the long run.
It might be the cliche thing to say, but like I think you actually just said it, so I'm probably just reiterating. But yeah, it might be better for both of you guys in the long run. You know,
Right.
you might be happier more down the line if you find somebody that also thinks more similarly to you, and
Right.
she might be happier too. And
Right. And we're still. I mean, like I said, I'm just happy that it was the most amicable breakup I've ever had. Like,
yeah,
if I can, I'll still be friends with her. I have no problem with that. You know, like, I mean, I talked to the girl for every day for 4 years. Like, I'm glad that I don't have to just stop talking to her because she is an awesome fucking person. Besides the whole Christian thing, but I mean, you can't win them all. You know, I mean, no, but if she actually acts like a Christian, says a Christian should act. Like, so she's the. I mean, she act. I mean, they're not bad when they actually fucking follow their own little rules. I mean,
if
she's
Anderson's
a
one side
very.
of the spectrum, she's the other.
Yeah, she's a very. I mean, yeah, she's the opposite of Steve Anderson. So yeah, that's a good way to put it. Exactly. But enough about my woes. What's going on with you guys?
No, not much. Just
Battling the cigarette addiction.
yeah, just battling that.
I'd almost rather
Getting
get
through it.
broke up with than quit smoking. To be honest with you,
Do what?
it's easier on you. I said I'd almost rather be broken up with than quit smoking. It's easier on you,
Yeah.
right?
Well, the thing. Well, well, I don't know.
Just switch
Because
the meth.
when you go to because when you break up with someone, I mean, smoking can always be a good way to try to help avoid your emotions. Whereas quitting smoking, you have to, you have to find a better, more healthier way to deal with shit.
Right.
I've been smoking since, God, I smoked sporadically since I was 14 and started smoking heavier whenever I was about to turn 18. So I've been smoking for off and on for about 10 to 14 years now.
You waited
And
that long to start? Jeez, man.
well,
I'm
I
just
would
joking.
have, I probably would have started earlier if I actually ever thought about it, but I didn't. And then when I turned 14 is whenever I actually started seeing other people doing it. And it was like, oh, well, everyone else does it, including a lot of my family members, so might as well. And then it's just one habit that I really wish I never picked up to begin with.
It's really good you're getting out of it though. I mean, like my dad never stopped even after the doctors told him to, and he passed away in 2014.
my mom didn't either, and she's dead now too.
Yeah, my grandfather died of emphysema, and he always told me that he was a good example of a bad example.
Heart condition. Yeah. But
seriously, switch to math. Everyone's doing it.
also, apparently, you need to find yourself a big titty goth.
That would always help.
Find a what?
A big titty goth. I'll take one. I mean, I'm not really looking for one, but I'll take one. I'll take any big titties that come my way, sir. Or little ones, or ones in between. Don't matter. I'll take some titties. Plain and simple. Unless they don't want me to take them, then I will not, because I'm not a rapist.
It's got to be consensual titties.
Yes, consensual titties only. Oh, I could go to the titty bar, I suppose. Them are consensual titties. And, like, you can just sit there and they rub them in your face. Just got to throw $1 at them. Well, here you go. Have $1.
It's like another thing I've never done. This been to a strip joint.
It's really not as exciting as people would lead you to believe. But strippers do smell heavenly, and I do like booby smashed to my face. So I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
yeah, that's always nice.
it's a good time. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, it's really not as exciting as you would think because I mean, think about the fact that yeah, you're fucking having a chick rub titties in your face, but she's also rubbing them in the face of the guy next to you,
Exactly.
the guy next to him. You know, so that
never seemed like that kind of environment I want.
The novelty kind of wears off.
I just don't see the point.
Don't dip
Weird about it.
change. Right. That is
The
good.
point. don't see the point in what? Strippers?
Yeah, personally, I don't see the point. I'm a little weird about it. I don't know. I guess if people want to see it and it's there, why not? But I don't know, man. Maybe it's just the way I'm wired.
I know, I agree with you. I mean, I don't see the
I'd
point
rather
of
just
going to
have that
blow my money.
experience with my girlfriend rather than she does
Well,
what
see,
she wants.
that's where
No,
strippers are
I'm not
good because
explaining this right.
every 10 minutes you got new titties smashed in your face. That's the one good thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because I mean, don't get me wrong, I like vanilla ice cream, but I mean, after a fucking month or two of eating the same ice cream, I would like to taste another flavor. I mean, if that analogy works for you guys.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, this isn't usually my like most comfortable subject.
Oh,
it's funny. It's funny because Reese had said, "Note to self: don't tip strippers with change." I've actually done that.
I feel
I
like I
want to
need to
have
clarify something though, like because I was talking a little weird. I don't care what people do consensually. I'm not some kind of like shtick
prude.
but about that kind of stuff. I don't give two fucks, but
Right.
I just personally wouldn't go to a strip club.
Yeah, if it's not your bag, it's not your bag, man.
Yeah,
No problem there,
that's all
brother.
I was trying to get at.
If it's not your bag, it ain't your bag. It's just how life is sometimes. So when are we gonna do another make fun of Ken Ham articles again, Russ? You can join us if you want, Sean. It's always fun to make fun of Answers in Genesis articles.
Fuck yeah! I always thought it'd be fun to like do like nah. I guess other YouTubers have gotten in trouble for streaming and commenting on live streams, right? As they're going on. But taking an entire AIG news segment and just watching it as a group and just joking on it, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be. I don't know. They would probably have a fit about it, but I don't know how that would go down. It'd be just like, wouldn't it sort of be like making a response video? Because you are changing you are changing what it is.
Technically, it should be fair use, but it's also the entire. You'd be streaming the entire show. They would get it from another source, and the commentary and stuff would be on it. But I hear they're not. People don't take too kindly to something that's not cut up. At least,
Right.
Yeah.
So couldn't you just pause it every now and then, maybe, or start like 5
That
minutes
would work
in,
actually.
and
Pausing it and then commenting on it would work. I was thinking of them while it's going on live.
Right.
But yeah, your way of doing it, just waiting for it to finish up and then watching it that way. That would get you past all the filters, I think. I'm not too knowledgeable in copyright. I just know what I've seen happen to other YouTubers. And Drunken Peasants got in trouble for streaming Tommy Sotomayor while he was streaming.
Oh, yeah, that probably gets you in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that, like fucking watch like some like Stevie Anderson videos with other people and just tear into them.
Somebody else, I forgot who it was. They get a couple of other of the YouTubers together and watch a sermon on Sundays. Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun to do that to Steven Anderson's content. I mean, his sermons are an hour long, but it'd still be a lot of fun.
That would be a hell of a lot of fun. Yeah, you're the only other person. I mean, everybody hates Steve Anderson. Don't get me wrong, but you seem to hate him with a special kind of vengeance, like I do.
He takes advantage of
despise
16-year-old kids with autism.
I despise him, dude. He's just a fucking piece of shit human being, dude. He's all around just a piece of shit human being.
He really is. I mean, I guess I don't know if it really is Kragen or not yet. It's probably just wishful thinking. I don't know. I really want it to be all Steven Anderson and Kragen's special interest, but I don't know.
Right.
Autism from what he's saying. I really do.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was only 16. I thought he was like in his early 20s, late teens, one of them too.
Yeah, same here. I thought he was like Matt Powell's age, honestly, like in college when I first made my video on him. I didn't even know he had autism yet. It wasn't until I got into his Minds account.
Who are we talking about?
Cragen. He's that youth pastor / Christian club leader that I made a video on.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea who that is. I'll have to
Yeah, you have
look
to check
at your
it out.
videos and look it out.
You're better off.
Good.
You're better off not knowing who he is, I guess.
No, it's worth giggling about, dude. You'll get a kick out of it.
Yeah. He's basically like some 16-year-old kid that got stuck in this Steven Anderson circle, and he has a lot of should I say vigilant Christian-esque ideas. He thinks that you can't have any scary movies or any totems or art pieces in your house because it's all the devil, or he thinks the Illuminati is real.
Oh my god.
He puppets a lot of Sanderson stuff, like Jew conspiracies and the anti-gay thing, and just all of it. Every time
I watched what was supposed to be just kind of like a little discussion between Mad Dog and this one dude who's supposed to be running for some kind of office over in I want to say California or something. And dude said, asked him, all he asked was, he goes, "What is your platform?" And the dude says, "I named the Jew."
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He didn't explain anything. All he said was, "I named the Jew." And so the guy was like, "Wait, what? What does that mean?"
It sounds super familiar. I think I've heard this somewhere.
Yeah, and what happened was, like I said, he goes, "What does that mean? What does name the Jew mean?" And he goes, "Well, he's like, all these people who are trying to run the company and trying to take over the world, all these Jews, I tell people who they are and blah blah blah." And he goes on to talking about the conflict over in Israel or something like that with this dude. And dude's like, "I'm sorry, what?" He goes off saying, "Look, yada 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 about this and about that." And all of a sudden he goes, "You're a fucking Jew, aren't you?" And it's like, "I knew it, I knew it."
Fuck?
And he hangs up, and I was like, "The hell is this shit?" Like literally.
That's crazy. When did that happen?
That happened on Mad Dog.
Delusions, man.
Mad Dog.
No, I mean, how long ago? How long ago was it?
Oh, I don't remember, but it took literally an hour for him to finally get into the hangout. And when he finally did, his actual interview or discussion or whatever lasted maybe about fucking 5 to 10 minutes. And then, bam, he ends it because he believed that the guy that he was talking to was a Jew. He was talking to, he wasn't talking to Mad, though. He was talking to MC.
MC is not a Jew. That's funny.
No, he's not. But it was hilarious because he sits there and goes, "You're a fucking Jew, aren't you? I knew it. I knew you were a fucking Jew," and then hangs up.
That's fucking hilarious.
I was like,
was MC laughing about that?
As it turns out, though, if you get like a 23andMe test, a lot of people end up having like some percentage of Ashkenazi Jew. It's like
really?
a large percentage of people.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's just like everyone will have a little bit of their ancestry coming out of Africa. I mean,
exactly.
It's just how the human evolution came up through, and so it's funny because I just found it hilarious. Just that one part because I loved it because he asked about his platform, what is it that he is going to show that about his running for presidency, and he goes, "I named the Jew." And it's like, the fuck is that shit?
That dude fucking's off his meds or some shit.
Absolutely, no
right?
Substance.
I mean, we're all atheists here. If I had to choose a religion that I'm least offended by, it'd probably be Judaism. I mean, like, have you ever had a Jew knock on your door and try to convert you? I'm like, all right, whatever, it's fine, you know.
I don't even think they believe in hell.
Yeah, I don't think they don't. I think they just Sheol is just the afterlife. That's just where you go when you die, one way or another. Sheol.
And you never get any of them proselytizing you, like at school or just randomly on the street. None of them
Hey.
are like telling people that like all gays are evil and trying to take over the world and
Right.
Why don't you let me talk about the Abraham, the Hoyam?
That'd be funny. Kid, come to your door. Oi, Vay. Have you let me tell you about. Have you heard about my God? They call him Yahweh. Do you have a moment so I can speak to you? Yeah,
just
I would
imagining
definitely.
Mario saying that.
Yes, you sounded like Mario.
I didn't mean to. I realized that as I said it.
me,
All right,
Mario.
all right. It's me, Mario. I want to play Mario Kart now for some strange reason.
Actually, if you play the Assassin's Creed 2, the very first one with Ezio, when he meets up with his uncle Mario, the dude sits and goes, "Do you not recognize me? It's me, Mario."
That's
And
fucking great.
I was like, "Oh my fucking god! Like seriously, this is amazing."
that had to
is
have been
awesome.
like an Easter egg, like deliberately.
I think
for
it was
sure.
because it'd be hilarious if the same guy who voices Mario was the guy
that
who
would be
playing
funny.
this Mario.
That would
like,
be great.
It's me, Mario.
Make it come full circle.
Right?
That would be awesome.
And then it'd be funny if he was trying to tell him to come on, let's get to the villa. He was like, "Let's go."
So, hey, you were saying you play mostly emulators. What are some good Super Nintendo and like Nintendo type emulators that are pretty easy to find?
Well, if you there's a couple of websites you can go and you can find literally any game. Honestly, the emulator, the latest emulator I can use is something called Dolphin Emulator. It allows me to play the GameCube and the Nintendo Wii. My girlfriend and I play a lot of Super Mario Brothers, and I mean not Super Mario Brothers, fucking Mario Kart. I don't know why the fuck I said that.
Like, are we talking about Mario Kart from the SNES?
Mario Kart from the Wii on the Dolphin emulator. And what's cool about the version of Mario Kart that I have is I modded it to have over like 250 levels. Has every single level from the all the games before it, and a bunch of custom levels.
That's cool.
So
I thought it was pretty cool. I just saw that the new Mario Kart on the Switch. I want to say it is has the exact same track from the SNES, but in a more 3D environment. And I was like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!"
yeah, the same deal goes on for like all the old school levels on this version of Mario Kart that I have. I think it's called like Mario Kart Infinite or something like that. But MU Paradise is a place that you can go. Coolrom.com. Be careful though. You needed to use like some sort of ad block because like tons of pop-ups and it may not be the most trustworthy type of website to be surfing on.
Right on.
You can, as long as you have ad block, you should be fine though.
Cool.
Yeah, I've got a couple of modded versions of like Super Mario Brothers. It's probably why I mentioned it. I've been playing through Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword. Probably like halfway through Skyward Sword right now. Need to get a new Wii bar though. It broke. My fucking cat was like ate through the cable.
I picked up a old school Super NES not too long ago. Original
awesome.
Super NES.
Played some Castlevania.
Like $30.
Your audio's cutting out real bad.
The past. It's Zelda: Link to the Past. Castlevania is one of the games I got. Super Mario World, Super Mario All Stars, Tetris, and Dr. Mario, Donkey Kong, Super Punch Out, and there's two other games that I can't remember right off the top of my head. But I picked them all up for $30 on a crackhead Midnight Madness sale. It's probably stolen, but it is what it is. So as long as no one's busting my door down to fucking find it, we're all good.
I've probably got every single Pokemon game that I've owned over the years at swap meets. We got
I
two
used to-
frustrated atheists in the building.
I used to really like one of the Pokemon games, but I can't remember which one it was now.
Yeah,
It was
what
a
your
color
favorite?
one. It was a color one. I know that. I can't remember which one though exactly. They're all color ones, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Blue,
Wait,
red,
you said
crystal,
Pokemon?
gold, silver.
Yeah.
Probably either red or blue.
I
Or
think it
yellow.
probably was one of them two, red or
Ruby,
blue.
sapphire, emerald.
Well, the original three that we played on. Wait, how old are you, Atheist Rationale?
I'm
He's
almost 24.
He's a youngster.
Okay, so then yeah, the ones that but the ones that like we played on would have been red, yellow, blue.
Yeah, old school Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't call it old school Game Boys back
It was
in the
just-
day, but
It was just regular old Game Boy, buddy.
it was Game Boy Color, and that was
Right.
it.
Yep, there was regular old Game Boy and the Game Boy Color. That was it.
Game Boy
That's all
Color
the
was the
choices
first
we
one I
had.
got. I
Yeah.
still remember playing on it.
My first video game console was an Atari when I was 5.
Play some asteroids, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, me and my mom used to play Frogger all the time and Pac-Man. That was her jam though, was Frogger. She was
Those
always
are pretty good.
shit.
I could get down to some Galaga. Galaga is great.
Oh yeah, the dude. Actually, Atari had some fun games, dude. Like Pitfall. Pitfall was fucking one of my favorite games of all time. I would still play that game right now if I could, dude. For real, Pitfall was awesome.
Artemis has beer.
Would you like a link? Artemis has beer. I'll send them one. I'm just gonna err on the side of if Artemis has beer, Artemis wants a link.
That's kind of what it sounds like, yeah.
Do you know? Have you met Artemis yet, Sean?
No, I haven't. I saw one of his videos though. I think it was posted on it was how I was first introduced to him by
on
a couple weeks ago.
shout outs.
Yes.
On God of Silence shout out. That's how I mean
that's how I found out. That was it.
I was following you on Twitter, and I think I had subbed to you a long time ago, but I'd forgotten about you, kind of like a Bionic Dance kind of thing. So
yeah, I felt so bad.
I had forgotten about you. It happens, man. When you got like 300 channels you follow, I mean, it gets hard to keep up with it sometimes.
Oh yeah, and back then I was following some of the cringy ones like Smosh and shit, so you get lost after a while.
Right?
So many. Don't want Smosh anymore. Don't watch Smosh.
So I asked you earlier, like who are some of the Christian channels you watch? I mean, we all watch them. I know we do. Besides Anderson, I don't like Wretched, but I enjoy watching Wretched videos because I don't know, the way the guy talks is fucking bizarre. So I
guess the only ones I really know are Matt Powell, Steven Anderson, Kragan, obviously, Sadhu Sandar. I've been wanting to make videos on Jim Baker and Carl Gallups and Bible Flockbox.
Oh yeah, old. You watched the Mario, the Vigilant Christian, while we're talking about Mario's.
Yeah, fucking Vigilant Christian.
Mario's.
Mario.
To be honest, what I did to find a lot of people is I use the I go on people's profile, right? Their YouTube channel, and sometimes they feature other channels, so they have their subscription list. You find a bunch of people just straight through that. There's this one kid I found named Bray Gwiddish, who I've been thinking about making a video on, but I'm probably not going to, honestly.
Is he Welsh or something?
I don't know.
That's a weird name, Bray Gwiddish.
Quidditch.
I know on his YouTube channel, his last name is like in all caps for some reason. It's like Quidditch, but like not.
I think Artemis fucking mugged an Amish man and stole his quilt.
You know damn well my mom made that shit.
I'm just giving you shit.
The kid makes a lot of anti-atheist videos, but I don't think he's all there, so I don't want to like do anything mean to him.
Right. Artie, have you met Sean?
I've not met
Artemis?
Hi, Sean.
How's it going, Artemis?
Shitty. But thank you for asking.
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it gets better.
Me too. I spent 6.5 hours trying to make a video today.
Oh, damn.
And you got nothing recorded?
0.
Do
Absolutely nothing.
you know who Make Me Bad 45 is?
And that's enough talking about Artemis.
Got a wish-granting giraffe. Stroke his neck. Make a wish.
That's Carl. Oh, that's funny you mentioned a wish. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's Carl. It's got a name. Draft.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I was making a reference to some obscure YouTuber from way back in the
Oh,
day.
that's funny though. That I thought you'd seen Art or Carl in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's Carl.
Carl the giraffe. Oh yeah.
Carl the giraffe. That sounds like a giraffe name.
It's Carl.
Karl Marx. That was
kills people.
Carl with a C.
My tummy had the rumblies that only hands could satisfy.
Silent.
Bad references.
C in there somewhere. Maybe a O with a line through it. Cool.
Coral.
Yeah.
You sound like you're in a. You sound like you're in a tunnel.
I dropped $100 on new fucking software today, and it won't recognize my goddamn camera.
What's
Oh wow,
off
that's
you buy?
crazy.
I got the CyberLink Director something.
Is it 15?
Power Director? No, it's 14.
Okay, I pirated.
It was
15.
on sale for
Seems to
$70,
work.
and I sprung for the phone number for customer service, and then I had to call and leave a message. So I might get a phone call during this.
That's right. Like on our.
Are you gonna freeze on us?
Hopefully they get it figured out for you, dude.
So fucking annoying. I spent the first 2 hours this week trying to get this camera to work, and then I just came to the realization that I just fucking won't do that.
It's
So,
just not gonna happen.
so then I started working on the video today, and I had a bunch of shit uploaded and ready to roll, and just couldn't get shit to work in the old software I was using. So fuck it, I'll just spring for some new stuff. So I sprung for some new stuff, and then I went to click record, and it says device not found. Even though it says it will let me click on it because it found the device, it won't start the device.
That's so weird.
The device hasn't found enough. They haven't found enough of it.
God.
They've only found remnants.
Then it said to go to my camera capture settings, which I didn't know was a fucking thing, because it turns out it's not on mine. So there's a couple of dents in my desk
Oh.
throwing down, and then there were cigarette ashes, and some shit got knocked off my desk, and the dogs were terrified.
Probably fixed from ignorance, but did you try uninstalling and reinstalling drivers? Sometimes that works.
That was the first thing I did.
Yeah.
I wonder if when humans are freaking out, if dogs are like, the gods are angry, like they're like fucking running shit, they're scared.
I can
He's angry at the gods.
I can lose my mind, but so long as I don't say "God damn it" or "fuck," Shorty is fine. But as soon as I let either of those two go, it's over. She's out of here.
That's funny.
She went and hid in the bathroom. That was a new one.
I had a JW fucking. I was over at my buddy's house today, right? And we smoked a bowl, and then he's like, "Hey, I got this dab pen. You want to hit it?" I'm like, "All right." So I hit it a couple times. I'm blowed. And fucking this lady starts walking the door. He's like, "Who's this chick?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's your house, man." And he goes out and meets her, and it was the fucking Jehovah's Witness. And that motherfucker says, "Oh, me and my buddy were just talking about this. Hold on a minute." And he fucking called me out there. And she's like, "Hi, do you believe in God?" I'm like, no, I don't." And so she was asking me questions and throwing Bible verses at me. So me and her we were spitting back and forth at each other for like 15 or 20 minutes. It was a buzzkill, let me tell you.
Is it JWs? What is there? 144,000 people that get to go to heaven?
Yeah, I believe so.
Did you ask her if she was one of them?
The funny thing is she beat around the bush. She didn't say she was Jehovah's Witness at first, dude. Like, she was talking about, like, do you believe in God? She didn't even mention Jehovah, which I thought was kind of odd. And then my friend said, "Oh wow, I know a guy that used to be a Jehovah's Witness," and he mentioned his name, and she fucking looked like she sucked on a fucking lemon, dude. Like, you should have seen the look on her face. And like, I'm like, "Oh, is he like disfellowshipped?" And she was like, my friend's like, "What's that mean?" And I'm like, and she just beat around the bush. She wouldn't answer what that meant, so I had to tell him after she left.
I would have just told her right there when she was there.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm a dick, so
I was trying to keep it kind of PC. I mean, his kids were there and shit. I didn't want to, fucking sound like a madman.
The last time one of those people tried to talk to me, I just said, "Are you on the list of the 144,000? If not, what did you do, and why should I get to beat you out?"
That's a good answer. How do I get ahead of you on the list?
Yeah,
that's one thing that I never really understood. And like, if so little amount of people are going to go to heaven, then why are you even proselytizing in the first place?
Right. Like, I have a better chance of winning the lottery.
Yeah, we just want the best 144K. So you might be one of those people. Just
Right.
get you to believe what we believe, and shun your family.
You might not be on the first round draft pick, but you might get a wild card.
He might be a wild card.
Look, you may be that one less, but then somebody else could do something that doesn't get them in heaven, and then you get you're next in line.
Yeah,
right.
You have the little ticket number. You have the ticket number.
You could lose some like
you can go ahead.
Yeah, you could lose some like Godless Engineer God points or something, and you like get kicked off the God list.
Is heaven waiting for all 144,000 to be accumulated, or is it just like a rotation? Like only the best 144,000 can be there, so every time a new one goes, the worst one has to come back, or
right? And out of 144,000, like, can you imagine the first guy got there? He's fucking waiting by himself forever. He's like, man, that's kind of boring. It's fucking horrible.
When's Prince gonna get here?
Right? Like, man, this party sucks.
I sure wish Prince would get here.
Just one guy for thousands of years.
Right. Well, only 100 or so years, because Jehovah's Witnesses have only been around since what, like the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah, something like that.
I was giving them a little leeway because they borrow from other
right,
books.
right.
But
right.
What do they call their churches? They're called what are they called?
Kingdom halls.
Kingdom halls.
Yeah.
And the area Kingdom Hall is in the middle of Amish country. Like any Amish is gonna leave the fucking Amish community to go to be a JW.
Speaking of Jehovah's Witnesses, the only place I ever find their propaganda is on the bus, and I found a fucking pamphlet this morning.
Did you read it?
It's funny because I live.
No, I just threw it in the trash. Figured that was the best place for it.
Right.
I recycle.
That's where rubbish belongs.
Yeah, it's funny because I live like maybe from my backyard to the Kingdom Hall is probably maybe a good 20 feet.
Oh wow! Do you like go out and rub your nipples on their service days and shit?
No.
Like go out and like lick your lips and look at them, rub your nipples.
I'm not the best judge of distance, so it could also be it's somewhere between 20 and 50 feet. So it's across the highway, and
it's probably more than 50 then.
It's probably more than 50. I have no idea because, like I said, I'm not the best judge of.
Well, if you live in a small house, 20 feet is from one exterior wall to the other.
I live in a duplex, so.
Okay, so from the front of your duplex to the back of your duplex is about 30 feet.
And he only has one eye. I can't judge distance.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
But anyways.
That William Tell thing.
But anyways, so anyways, it's like right across the highway, and they don't ever come down and throughout the neighborhood to, do their proselytizing.
I think they tend to avoid that.
Yeah, kind of like you don't shit where you eat kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or they might have that whole Sanderson-esque idea, tackle the poor.
Yeah, there you go.
The one here is literally where Yoder Road intersects with the state highway.
Yoder Road. That ain't Amish.
Yoder
That's
Road.
That's Amish as fuck, dude. I think Yoder is like the Amish equivalent of Smith.
Oh, God.
Well, around here, the biggest ones are Graber and Schmucker.
Oh yeah, Schmucker's the big one too.
Well, you know, with a name like Schmuckers, it's got to be good.
Right.
Yeah. So guess who I've been conversing with
Who?
on Twitter right now.
SJ.
No, but I have conversed with her, but it's always been short because, well, she has terrible points, and she
always dips out
I've demolished her. Well, yeah, once I sit there and I say something, she'll reply, and then I reply back, and then nothing because well, there's nothing. She can't back up.
I think she's over having long conversations with atheists online because too many people that follow her read that shit, and she can only get her ass kicked so many times before she has to beg out.
Yeah, and she started with Peter. I mean, if you're going to start debating an atheist, don't start with Peter because he'll eat you alive. He'll just keep going and going and going. He won't give up. Peter knows no bounds when it comes to arguing Christians.
Who knows? Maybe if people keep up this whole thing on SJ, maybe she'll turn into like the next Steve Shives or Ken Ham blocking everybody.
She goes through fits where she blocks about half the people that follow her.
Yeah, what's her real name? Sean has never heard of her. I can't remember her real name.
Today was the first time I ever heard of her.
Is it Stephanie? Yeah. What is her Twitter handle though?
Her total handle is SJ Thomas.
Yeah, that's right. Is it Stephanie then? Yeah, that's right. I should have known that. Peter has said her name numerous times.
At Christian-apologetics.com.
She's just fucking horrible.
Yeah, but no, the person who I've been conversing with today is that stupid fucking Epichrist.
Epichrist?
He blocked me like 3 weeks ago.
You know how many
people obviously doesn't understand what the Cambrian explosion was meaning, because he says it says right here that it's a sudden occurrence of creatures. It's like, do you understand what the scientists mean by sudden?
50 million.
Sudden.
Right.
Yes. Sudden means that instead of million to billions of years, it took quite a few 100,000 to millions of years.
Right. Well, Christians
That's what they mean by sudden.
Scale. They don't understand the scale at all.
Well, I think the Cambrian period's 50 million years or 55 million years. So it's not like, I mean, yes, there's this huge proliferation of new fucking species, but
yes, but when you have creatures that have been evolving for billions of years,
yeah,
millions is like nothing.
A drop in the bucket, yeah.
And then he was trying to tell me that
what everybody in like Christian communities right now is just getting wrong. Bible Flockbox, and now Matt Powell's doing the same video. I feel like he plagiarized Bible Flockbox actually.
I'm not sure the microphone you're holding is the microphone we can hear you through.
It is. It just if he moves it too far away.
Can you hear me better?
Oh yeah, that's much better.
Yeah.
I was also talking kind of softly, so
yeah. He also has told me. He asked me. He said he wanted evidence for macroevolution, and so I sat there and told him about. I said the transitional fossils, and he's like, "You can't use transitional fossils. That's circular reasoning." And I was like, and he said, "This is exactly the way he said it." He says, "Tiktaalik is a transitional fossil because of evolution. Evolution is true because of transitional fossils." I was like, this dude doesn't know what the fuck he is even talking about.
He was just looking for an argument.
Like no, but the thing is there is a way to kind of say what he's trying to say, even though it's completely wrong. But the way he even words the wrong thing is fucking wrong.
Well, and he asked for an example, and you gave him one. That can't be circular.
Yeah. the way he's trying to say is that we use transitional fossils to prove evolution's true, and we say evolution is true because of transitional fossils.
Should have just brought up DNA.
Like I said, doing that there alone, if the way I said it, a Christian can, or one of these people can sit there and say that, and it sounds like circular reason, even though it's fucking wrong.
Right.
But the way he personally worded it was even more wrong than that. And it was like,
I'm so frustrated with the amount of people that just never fucking learned evolution. That just literally never fucking learned it.
It's just like, for instance, Monday I'm going to be on standing with truth, or standing for truth, or whatever the fuck his name is.
that guy fucking is he's been trolling me on some of my videos.
He trolls everybody. Finally I sat there and broke down. I was like, all right, you know what, fuck it. And he wants to discuss this, and the sad thing is that he is in not even just Ken Ham, but Kent Hovind's camp of thinking, and it's like, oh my god. And so I'm not going on there to try to
throw some stupid cliches your way. Fish to
well, of course.
fisherman.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, he says, you know, we see dogs producing dogs, but where have you ever seen a dog produce a non-dog? It's like, by definition of evolution, that's not how that fucking works. And then he goes, well, you believe that a non-dog over millions and millions of years can produce a dog? And it's like, yes, but it doesn't work the opposite fucking way.
Actually, you can do it. Actually, I can turn a wolf into a dog in one generation.
Right?
Just breed it with a fucking dog.
It might be a really moody
but
dog.
That's a dog.
Poof, it's a goddamn dog. No longer a fucking wolf, is it?
But the thing is he's gonna go through this. I already know he is. And the thing is it's just gonna aggravate the hell out of me. But I'm not doing it because of, you know, to get through to him in any way, shape, or form.
Ever. Don't
ever.
Don't ever argue for the person that you're arguing with. You're only ever arguing for somebody who might look at that shit.
Exactly. And because it would be one thing if he was somebody who could actually stop and be like, you know what? You might be right about this. Let me actually look at this. That'd be one thing. I would then definitely 100% go after him. But the fact that I know he's not going to, it's going to be me talking to anybody else who comes across that.
I had one honest conversation that, off the top of my head, that I can remember, was a guy from India who was a Christian and was a creationist. And he and I it was at least 7 days, not like a week solid, but like maybe 7 days over a week and a half or whatever, where he would ask me a question and I would find him the answer. And then I would ask him a question and he'd say, well, man, I don't believe that. And then I'd find him the answer. And I just kept feeding him this because he was genuinely so interested in learning the shit that he had no fucking concept of, because he had never learned biology, at least in no meaningful way.
Right.
But he would listen. He's like, I'm just trying to learn. And I was like, so long as you keep telling me that, I'm going to keep trying to teach you. But as soon as you start trying to teach me anything, it's over, because I've already been told all the shit you want to tell me. I'm damn near 50 years old. I've been having these arguments since I was in college. You're not going to introduce me to a new idea that I just can't, ooh, that one's a new one. I haven't heard that. Speaking of which, frustrated, I was, have you ever had somebody say, have you ever heard of Kent Hovind?
I don't think anybody's said it to me.
I got hit with that. It was early in the month, maybe like 2.5, 3 weeks ago, that somebody hit me with, well, have you ever heard of Kent Hovind? I was like, you mean the Hovind theory? Yeah, I'm familiar with Hovind theory. Well, what do you know about Hovind theory? Really? I just told you I'm familiar with it.
Fucking shit.
You asked about Hovind. I introduced the notion of Hovind theory, and now you want me to explain to you what I think it means?
I think it's full of. I think it means that it's full of complete and utter garbage.
A really good friend of mine grew up on Hovind videos.
Kent Hovind's from 45 miles away from where I'm at right now. That's kind of scary. So is Richard Pryor at the same exact town. Weird, eh?
That's the part that fucks me up.
What?
Richard Pryor and Kent Hovind are from the same hometown.
No, but I had somebody. I was on with Nephilim Free, and we were discussing the Grand Canyon.
Speaking of Nephilim, fucking effing.
One of the people who I've talked to a couple of times at this point, she was messaging me on Google Hangouts, and we're talking back and forth, and she honestly wanted to know. She's like, well, I was like, if you want to know how the Grand Canyon can be formed over millions of years, I can explain it to you. It's like, but I'm pretty much kind of letting her know I'm not going to waste my time if you're not actually wanting to know how. And so she's like, yes, please tell me if you have the time. I was at work, so I was like, of course I have the time. And so I explained to her, everything about it, how, that the water cutting into the rock over time will eventually edge itself deeper and deeper within that rock. And then as time goes on,
erosion's like one of the first fucking things you learn in science.
Yeah, like you don't have to be a geologist to figure that out either. I mean,
and then the erosion happens with with the fact that the top layers of the rock eventually crumble and fall in. And I'm explaining this to her, and I'm telling her how that a lot of these sediment that we would have seen of millions of years of buildup have been washed out into the river delta, and that the other parts got deposited along the river banks, as it makes its turns and all this other stuff, and explaining to her in great detail how this happened. And she said, that actually makes sense. I was like, yeah.
Oh, that wasn't what I was expecting. That threw me for a loop. Yeah, that is awesome.
Real.
That might mean there's like some hope of bringing her around.
Yeah. Well, she's still, I believe, she's still I don't know what she is. I know that I think she still believes in a God, but I think she goes for more of the philosophical thing because she does have a degree in philosophy.
Yeah. That's anything is better than like any organized religion's perspective on a higher power, in my opinion.
Right. So you're saying she's a deist then? Not really a Christian.
No, I don't know. I don't think she's a deist. I think she believes in the Christian God.
Oh, okay. She's not non-denominational type of way.
Probably.
Yeah. Or like my ex, who calls herself a Lutheran, but she's not really a fucking Lutheran, and she won't read the Bible because she knows there's shit in there because of me that she doesn't want to know.
Well, she already knows it if you told her.
Yeah, she has all these things that she knows from the Bible that she doesn't want to believe are in the Bible, even though she knows they're in the Bible. But she wants to call herself a Lutheran, even though she's really not any kind of a Lutheran. She's just kind of a Christian with her own version of what Christianity is. And there's no fucking talking anybody down from that. If you want to have your fucking God and eat it too, I can't tell you can't.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, do you think like maybe her parents were Lutheran and she's just
her mom's well, it's a long story, but her mom is Lutheran and she's one of the worst human beings I've ever met.
Oh god. That's a pretty fun story sometime.
Yeah, my ex was the spawn of she's a bastard child. And pretty much the whole family knows it, but they're all devoutly fucking Lutheran and nobody seemed to give a fuck. Like, did anybody think of her, the man that her mom was married to, and how he might have been a better Christian than all you motherfuckers? And that guy, that poor guy, he died of diabetes, and by the time he died, he was a bobber. He had literally had all of his limbs removed.
Oh, that's terrible.
He was mute by the time he died, so he'd kind of make an utterance, and they'd throw a pain pill down his throat, and just kind of pray for his death. And all of that happened way after he had fucked his brother to have my ex as the baby. great
Okay,
family
that's-
dynamic there in the Lutherans here in town.
Very, very out there. Oh wow.
And the Lutheran high school, Fort Wayne has a Lutheran high school, and they don't teach evolution there.
I even was last night. I was in a discussion about ghosts with my mom and my fiance.
I read
They
that.
both believe that they both believe that they are real, and I'm like, and they're over here trying to like my mom. She was like, "Well, explain this to me."
Okay, wait.
And
Next time it comes up, ask
Uh-huh.
if the ghosts are clothed, and if so, how did the clothes become spirits?
well,
Here's
but
It's one of the great fucking I never thought of that questions.
Here's
Right.
one thing that's
well, no,
always
because
bothered me. Sorry,
Jags.
keep going, I'll wait.
Yeah, sorry. Jags had actually asked a bunch of different questions, like how do they know what to do? How are they doing all this stuff? If they, do these ghosts have brains? How are they moving? Are they gliding? And why don't they sink through the floor and things like that? And my mom and my fiance were like, "Who thinks of these questions?" I was like, "These are actually standard questions you should ask
First of all,
about this
pot
kind of stuff."
smokers. Second of all, people that used to believe in ghosts.
Right? And so my mom was like, "Well, explain this to me. Explain how every time I leave the bathroom, I turn the light off, and then I'll go back into the bathroom and the light's on." I was like, "Well, for starters, we already know that there's faulty wiring in the bathroom because there's some switches that don't even fucking work." And then I was like, and,
those are fire ants.
right?
One of them.
Right. And so I was like, and then on top of that, you do realize that turning a light switch off and on is a thing that we do subconsciously. It's not something we ever actually intentionally think about. If you are so used to doing it, then it becomes second nature. Well, the very second that you don't do it, then you're going to think that, oh, I did do it because I always do it, even though you didn't. And then in that case, you left the light on and just thought, oh, ghost. And she's like, no. I'm like, you're saying no because you're already predispositioned into believing that these things exist.
Did you know that people that don't believe that ghosts exist don't ask those questions? Oh, fuck, I left the light on. That's just what you do.
I gotta throw something out there. Like, the whole idea of ghosts, isn't that kind of contradictory to, like, the Bible? You're supposed to go to heaven or hell when you die, right? Why is there an in-between?
Yeah.
I could be wrong here. This just...
Because...
No, I think
if you're Catholic, if you're Catholic, there's some wiggle room, and some other denominations leave a little wiggle room.
But not only that, but the thing is the way they rationalize this away is because even my fiance said this. She said that what spirits that are still here in this world are here because the fact that they had unfinished business before they died. And so now they are restless and yada, yada, yada.
So the way to finish the business is to fuck with the lights, right?
Apparently so.
How many movies is that?
don't all people have unfinished business when they die? Like, I'm pretty sure that, like, if anybody died, they could think of something. If you had a choice to, once you were dead.
There's a reasonable chance that even Elvis didn't wipe before his death.
Look, all I'm saying is that when I die,
so.
all I'm saying is that when I die, I'm haunting the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, I'm haunting the shit. I'm haunting the shit out of the whatever that company that sells the ghost detector stuff that Oscar's always talking about. I'm haunting the shit out of their factory.
My fiance, my mom was like, my mom is sitting there. It's like, you know what? You know what we're gonna do? And I was like, what are we gonna do? She said, what we're gonna do is we're going to find the most haunted place in Galveston, and then have you spend the night there. I was like, okay, I'm going to sleep like a fucking baby because nothing's gonna fucking happen.
Right.
Actually, I vaguely remember seeing a most haunted place in Galveston fucking YouTube shit.
Some people
I mean,
say
it-
my old high school is not haunted too.
Do
Suicide
you
couple
think
off the water tower.
Do you think it's just a common? Do you think ghosts like haunted places are just a combination of like you're expecting because you were told it was haunted, so pareidolia, like ooh, you're
Yep.
seeing things
Yeah.
that aren't really
It's a
there.
placebo thing. It's a placebo thing.
Yeah,
For sure.
It's someone says this
You're
place
alre-
is haunted, and you're like, oh my god, it's haunted.
Yeah, you're primed to already like think something's gonna happen, and if you're already thinking it's gonna be ghosts, everything is ghosts. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've been
I'm
creeped
not
out.
saying it's ghosts.
I've been
but
creeped
it's
out in the
ghosts.
woods before, but invariably it was a deer or a raccoon or, in the worst case, an opossum.
Right.
Or Bigfoot.
Fucking things are ugly.
Or Bigfoot. That's even more rational than ghosts, to be honest with you.
I know what a squatch smells like. It did not smell like squatch.
It's a fucking Sam Squinch. Please tell me y'all got the reference.
Hey, yeah, I did. Hey, Russ, did you know that Mad believes in ghosts? He's an atheist, but he believes in the paranormal. Mad Dodge?
Does he really?
Oh.
Yeah, he believes in paranormal.
You can use
Madoge?
the baloney detection
Well-
for religion. Why can't you use it for ghosts?
Right, that's what I tried to explain
Well,
to him.
the
but
thing
he-
is the thing is that I asked this though. I asked this because I was telling them I finally had enough of the conversation, and they were starting to ruin my somewhat buzz that I was getting. And I was like, okay, so I was like, if this is something that happens, if there's something as a spirit within the body, then there'd be a way of to detect it. And then I explained how, when there's been times when people have run tests on people who have died where they try to see if, anything comes out. And then those people who also say that they can astral project and nothing happens. And she's like, and my mom was like, well, that's a man-made machine. And
James
I said,
Randi.
well, hold on. I was like, there's, the James Randi Foundation.
James
does it
Randi
too.
has like a ton of shit on this, like
Yeah.
astral projection shit.
But-
He's done like scientific tests on it. It's bullshit.
Yeah. And so I said, okay, hold on. So these man-made tests and machines that they've used to try to figure out if there's a soul, those can't be trusted, but we can trust the same man-made machines that say, oh, look, there's a ghost.
Ding, 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 ding.
And she's like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
Isn't it cool that Harry Houdini was like the original James Randi? He was like the original Ghostbuster.
Yeah, he was the original debunker.
Well,
Yep.
the thing was, and he started it because he was, somebody tried to fool him, and he was like, you're full of shit.
No, I think
like,
someone,
you know
I
what?
think someone
Fuck
had
this.
bamboozled his mother, and he was very close to his mother, something like that.
Yeah, the great ones are always magicians. It was him, and Randy, and then Penn and Teller.
Yep.
Penn Teller's great too. Yeah.
And then
There is no fucking magic in the world. We all wish there was,
As cool as it would be, yeah.
but there's
I wish I could conjure up a fucking fireball and shoot it at someone. That'd be awesome.
really fucking cool. Somebody posted today on Twitter. Did you know or have you ever met an atheist who said they were a witch? And then they couldn't believe that was a thing that people could do. And I was like, well, why would you have to be religious to be a witch, first of all?
right.
Second of all, of course there are stupid people that are atheists and also think they're witches.
This reminds me of this crazy witch lady I found on YouTube. I don't remember her channel name, but she has this whole video from like atheism to Wiccan, a conversion story. It's trippy, but I should show it to you guys sometime. I just gotta find the channel.
I don't understand. I don't know that
I
involves gods.
I downloaded this one video. I forget what channel she has or whatever, but it was something. I forgot what the thing that they were talking about was exactly, but
Good story.
she was going on about
Is
the
someone
third
streaming from
eye
the side of the
and
highway?
Yeah, it's frustrated.
Oh, it
It's
sounds
me
like
always.
a
I'm
fucking
always
you're at a rest
driving.
stop or something. Oh, that's
No,
what it is.
no,
I
I'm
forgot
always
about
driving.
that. Yeah. Forgot
Yeah,
about
but
that.
so
Sounds like you're at a rest stop.
I know it's not me.
So
For once, there's no cars driving by.
No, but someone had a train drive by.
Yeah.
But she was going on about the third eye, and it was something about visiting other places. By all you have to do is fucking think about it, and you've gone there.
That's called
You mean
imagining
imagine?
things, dumb bitch.
Yes, and so she was like, if you want to some kind of travel or some shit bullshit thing like that.
Next time I read
she's
Harry Potter, I'm going to be in Hogwarts. Nice.
Right?
Awesome.
And so she was like, all you have to do is imagine the place you want to go to. If you've seen a picture of where you want to be at or whatever, and just sit there and imagine it, look around and explore the town and whatnot as you are in a trance type of thing. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, I'm about to debunk the ever-loving shit out of you. And it makes it even better because if I'm not mistaken, she had disabled the comments. And I was like, oh yeah, you're definitely going to be debunked.
That sounds like some fucking Daphne Ramel fucking level of insanity there.
You can travel just by imagination.
Here's the conversation I'm involved in right now.
I can travel just by getting in my car.
Take that, straw man was responding to this American leftist. The American leftist says, actually, it did, darling. Noah did exist. He was the grandfather of Abraham. Through Noah, you get the giants, the Edomites. Noah was the grandfather of Jacob, which is part of Jewish history and secular world history. And take that, straw man. Tweeted it. Said there are 10 generations from Noah to Abraham, according to the Bible. Blood was supposed to kill the giants. There are 12 generations from Noah to Israel, not 2. And then this guy goes on. He says, "Yeah, sorry, my bad. I got that part wrong." And this is, but there were still giants in the land after the flood. Goliath was the last of the giants. And then this Mansour, ex-Mansour. I've seen him before. He's a Christian apologist. He agrees with him, and this blah blah blah. But anyway, eventually gets back down to Strawman says, part of they were watching from afar when the flood came. Does that mean they didn't die? And what the fuck are you talking about? And this guy says, "Hey, Strawman, even Hitler believed he was descended from the giants." And my response was, even Hitler? Is that supposed to make something better or more palatable? And then the guy goes, hey, Artemis, what a unique name. I like it. I said, even Hitler. He said, no, your name, Artemis, follower of Artemis, goddess of the hunt and moon. Wear it as a badge of honor. Live up to it. Actually, it says live up to it. Have people look up to you rather than have them look down upon you. And I said, I'd rather the people who think they have it figured out take the time to notice the spelling and realize I'm not attached to it. Second, is there a reason you want to address the whole Hitler thing, or was that a joke?
He totally just skips over it.
Oh my God, that's fucking amazing.
That was a joke. You got me. I didn't catch it, but was that a joke? Because can we talk about the Hitler thing? And I spell Artemis wrong on purpose, motherfucker. There's 2 spellings, and neither of them are the way I spell it. Which goddess do you think I am? The Greek or the Roman?
I think the way you spell it, I think like Frankenstein's fucking Frankenstein's assistant or something. Dr. Franken, come here, Artemis. We're gonna build a body tonight.
I did that up.
That's Igor.
I know, but I mean Artemis. Maybe that's what Artemis sounds like that kind of.
No, it was because that was my original pick. Was Igor from the
from the young Frankenstein.
Yeah, it was him next to the jar with the brain in it.
It's
That's
Igor. It's not Igor. It's Igor.
It's Frankenstein. Oh, yeah, and it's Igor.
Nope, it's Igor.
You know, I might be able to. I'm a magical plastic surgeon. I might be able to do something about your hump. I have a hump.
Is that 300 parody?
No, that's also from Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, have you ever have you ever seen that? Gene Wilder.
No, I haven't.
Oh,
It's
it's
a
fucking
good
epic.
movie, dude. It's hilarious.
I've seen it, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
Every time what was the chick's name? Fucking Fräulein something. Every time her name is mentioned, in the movie, in the background you hear.
I'm gonna pop out for like 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
No problem, buddy.
Just the fact that she's obviously been raping the horses is just funny as fuck.
Was that a Mel Brooks movie?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah. Oh my god! But he brought up 300, and there's just so many good actual stories about the Spartans that are fucking amazing and fucking hilarious at the same time.
I've been watching a show from the BBC that I'd never seen before. It's called Time Team. It's an archaeology show.
I think I've seen it before.
It's just fascinating, and it's the problem is that there's 20 fucking seasons of it, and it's pretty formulaic. So it's great to fall asleep to. It's like History Channel when it used to be something other than Hitler.
I do that all the time. I'll like turn on documentaries that are cool and interesting, but that are boring enough that I can fall asleep to. Yeah.
Not so interesting. I have to watch it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I can listen to it too. That's the cool thing about documentaries is you can listen and learn just as much by watching it.
The best documentary I've ever seen is on the American Railroad. It's like a 90-minute long thing, and I think the YouTube video of it says greatest documentary ever or something like that. It's not the greatest fucking documentary ever, but if you want to know anything about the history of American railroads, like when they started and how they started and why the Transcontinental Railroad was a thing, and that's a great fucking documentary. I watch it like twice a month. It's so good.
Yeah. One of the good documentaries I saw was the America. It was one about America, and it was the talking about Carnegie and all of them.
The Burns video or the series.
Maybe they were like hour-long episodes.
Yeah, and there were like 7 of them.
Yeah, like 7.
That sounds like some Ken Burns shit.
I still haven't seen. I've seen his one. I've seen his one on America. I've not seen.
Have you seen Vietnam?
No, my favorite is national parks, but my brother bought
the West is cool too. That's a cool one.
My brother bought the one on baseball, and he swears by it.
Yeah, I think I've seen the first couple episodes. He's got one on the Roosevelts. He's got one on
that even the shit that he produced for PBS is behind a paywall.
PBS,
yeah, I thought PBS was public.
Yeah,
public domain. Yeah, public broadcast.
I guess because PBS didn't have anything to do with the funding of it. He's allowed to do that. I don't know, but none of his videos are available on the PBS YouTube channel.
Huh. There's a lot of them on Netflix. There's a lot of them on Netflix now.
One of my favorite stories from history happens, which is why I brought up the Spartan things that whenever Rationale brought it up, was the story that I forgot which ruler had sent a letter to the Spartan kings.
Xerxes?
No, it wasn't Xerxes. It was somebody else. I forgot who, but they sat there and they were about to go into Sparta and try to overtake it. And they sent a letter to the kings and said, when we come over there, if we come over there, we will rape your women and we will kill all of y'all, and yada yada yada.
Fuck.
And the Spartans only sent a one-word reply back.
Yep.
That word was
Balls.
if.
If you
If.
invade us.
And they did not even dare go into Sparta. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
And
that's like,
that was the epic response of Spartans, because Spartans were not these people who had these long drawn out conversations. They would send the one word of replies, if. And
yeah,
it was
that
like, oh shit.
that kind of goes along with the whole definition of Spartan now. Spartan means sparse or no adornment. So that kind of fits with it, doesn't it?
Like blunt and to the
Yeah.
point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Spartan.
pretty much.
What's that word?
I think you're right. It wasn't Xerxes. I think it was either another Greek king or it might have been one of Xerxes' like sons or something like Darius or something.
It
Like
might have been before Xerxes, because
One of the great things I've been able to do with that show that I've been binge watching, that Time Team or whatever the fuck it is that I've been able to sort out English history as an adult rather than just learning a bunch of shit and trying not. I was never able to put timelines together so that like the Roman period. When did the Roman period start in Britain, and then when was the medieval and the Tudors, and I've been able to put dates to those fucking words now, and it's the Roman.
yeah, and that's something I still haven't been able to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Roman period in England
Yeah, no,
started
it's-
sometime
it's
before the
okay.
end of the first century. It was like year
and
40.
ended around 435 or somewhere around there, and then it came to Anglo. Then there was the Britons for a short time,
Oh,
and
well,
the
the Normans.
Anglo-Saxons came.
You got to put the Normans in there.
No, I'm before the Normans. I'm just right after Roman time. They were Britons, and then the Anglo-Saxons, the Angles and the Saxons came over. Then the Anglo-Saxons fought the Britons. The Britons were in northern England, and then okay. So after that happened, then 1066. That was when, next was the Danelaw. That was in like the 700s. They were in the north of England.
Actually,
And then after 1066 is when
Wait,
the Normans came over.
1066 was the Battle of.
Hastings.
Say it again.
Hastings.
Hastings.
Yeah.
The last episode of that show I watched, the ceremony or what has been established as the battlefield for Hastings isn't the battlefield of Hastings.
Yeah, it's like 3 miles away or some shit like that.
It's not even that. It's worse. The battle actually took place at the largest intersection in town.
So it's like they're like town square or whatever they call it. England has them.
It's a triangle thing. There's you come up from the south. There used to be water on either side of this, what essentially became just a single path, a road from the southern area to the northern where Hastings is.
Okay.
And the town is actually called Battle. And then there's the whatever the church put up a whatever there, and then there's the battlefield. Except that's not where the battlefield is. The church is here, and the battlefield, honorary battlefield's here. But as you cross this little one-lane Roman road, that was like a viaduct, or not a viaduct, causeway. There was water on both sides, so they could only come up the one way into town. And at the narrowest point on the far side of that causeway is the middle of what is Battle, and it's the road comes up like this, and then the town road goes across east to west. So where the battle took place was in the middle of that fucking intersection, and all of the archaeology is gone.
Well, I'm sure that it was spread out a little bit beyond the intersection. They weren't all just crowded in one little area.
Because the hill dropped off steeply on either side, and there's no buildings on either side where the hill drops off precipitously. And they ran metal detectors up and down the hills as best they could, but there was nothing there.
That's funny.
Because the battle was basically centered at the fucking intersection.
And the name of the village is Battle?
There was no town there at the time. It was a field with two roads that met.
No, but I'm saying there's a village there now named Battle.
Oh yeah, Battle, the town of Battle.
So wouldn't that give it why did they name a battle in the first place?
Well, because even when the town became a town, it was it wasn't.
It's in Hastings.
It wasn't elite. No, it's not. Hastings and Battle are two different towns.
Well, isn't it? Wasn't the battle itself called the Battle of Hastings?
Yeah, but Hastings, maybe it was like the Civil War where they just like picked the closest town and named it that,
Well,
like the Battle of Bull Run, the Battle of Manassas.
Well, that's the other great thing about the Civil War is that the South named it after the nearest town, and the North named it after the nearest river.
That's okay. I thought it was the other way around, but yeah, I remember that. I thought it was the other way around, though.
It might be. It's one or the other, but it was still fun.
It was the battles were fun.
Sure.
There.
I gotta say, there's been whenever you're one of the worst things about being American is whenever you have these people, like especially whenever I've been growing, where I grew up. You know, I grew up in a place where it's all, you know, red-blooded Americans around here. You know, America's the greatest country ever type of people. And I've had to sit there and correct so many people whenever they sit there and they talk about people from England. And they said, we kicked your ass during the Revolutionary War. It's like, you do realize, no, we didn't.
It was, well, we did, but not.
We won eventually, but it wasn't like we didn't run them out.
No. We didn't.
It wouldn't have happened without the French. We'd have gotten our asses.
Well, no. Even with that, if we went one more winter, we would have been decimated.
Well,
they essentially gave up. Yeah,
that's true. But the English were in worse shape than us, and they didn't have homes to go to.
Well, no, but the thing is the king could have sent. He had so many irons in the fire at the time that if he truly wanted to keep the colonies, he could have sent a massive amount of soldiers to America. But what he said was, fuck it, let them have it. And he kept going on with his other things. But this was not a massive landslide type of battle like they want us to think.
Oh, when we were... Even worse is listening to people talk about how we won the War of 1812, and we
didn't win. We lost.
Invariably cite Louisiana. New Orleans, the Battle of New Orleans. How we kicked their ass at the Battle of New Orleans. Well, okay, agreed, we did. We kicked their ass at the Battle of New Orleans. That was 2.5 weeks after the war had ended.
A day late and a dollar short.
And it just took that long for anybody to realize it. But that battle happened after the war ended. After England said, "Fine, fuck it, we'll stop taking crews off of your ships."
Way too fucking slow back then.
Well, I am sorry, guys, but I do have to go.
Yeah, I was probably gonna think about wrapping up anyway because there's a couple other streams on, and I would like to watch them.
All right, well, let's go invade them.
All right.
All right, guys.
I've been wanting to watch that GI stream.
All right, I'm gonna shut her down. I don't think anybody's watching anyway. So if there is,
nice to meet you,
guys. And we will do this again. Don't worry, we'll make fun of some ham and eggs.
Yeah,
all right,
for sure.
Good night, everybody.